Yo, what's up, everybody? Rev Sauce 9. Let's go today. All right. I've been doing a lot of live things. You guys got to catch the videos. We did a watch along of the Vince McMahon docu-series. We've done a lot on this channel in the last 24 hours. Let's see. I've streamed a grand total on this very channel in the last couple days. Just wrestling alone is 13, 14 hours. Nobody else in the IWC is an insane psychopath like me at times, okay? Like, I'll tell you guys that right here, right now. We sat down, we did the watch along. It was 13 and a half hours. I talked to you guys. We hung out. A lot of you talked wrestling with me. A lot of you talked about real life. It wasn't just on one platform that we were talking on. We were talking on Twitch, Kick, Trovo. I'm not just doing wrestling stuff on here. Sometimes I do it live as I'm going on special stuff and things like that. Tonight we're doing a live review of Grand Slam tonight. Kicked off the show hot. I will give you that. Danielson, the final countdown. They kicked off the show hot tonight, and that's what they needed to do. They're booking for the future. They brought in MVP tonight. I wasn't surprised. MVP's from New York. They set it up. The Hurt conglomeration, I'm cool with this. Now, for people to tell me, oh, well, you know, you said that maybe they won't. I said 50-50. I told you 50-50. I'm not going to make you any promises or guarantees. I told you 50-50 when it came to that shit. So just keep that in mind when I said that. You know, a lot of you, like, take my shit so serious sometimes. You guys take it so fucking serious sometimes when it comes to me about booking and things like that. I also told I was wrong tonight. I thought they were going to go the way of Darby Allin in his hometown. Maybe they still will. I was wrong. I will admit I was wrong. I thought Darby Allin was going to win from the reports. Never believe in the dirt sheets. I was wrong. I will stand by what I said. I thought he was going to win. I thought they were going to put him over. It looks like they deviated. They're going to go John Moxley and Danielson. I guess that's where they're going to go. I guess John Moxley and his little powers. Maybe that's the guy that's going to take the belt off of Danielson at Tacoma, Washington. Maybe Danielson plows through this, and that's that. Hook literally retires the title tonight. I'm cool with that. I have no squirms when it comes to that stuff. Like I said, again, I'm not mad. I'm really not mad over those things. Let's see here. Did I didn't. Okay. Let me make sure here that I go and fix my stuff real quick here. Bear with me, guys. I got up 2 hours before Dynamite came. I am still reeling from watching that docu-series all night long into the morning, man. Like, that shit was wild. You guys were killing it on all sides, man. Now, let me be real. You guys were having conversations on all sides. We were all talking about, it was kind of like we were talking about what's going on in the world between the Diddy shit, you know, kind of Harvey Weinstein, kind of Epstein. It kind of went into like so many different conversations, and I really thought I enjoyed that. So I appreciate you guys on all sides, like seriously, on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. You guys were all just chiming in on conversation. We didn't just have one conversation. We had many different conversations. So that was good. I'm not going to call this the best Dynamite ever. You know, some of you are going to call it the best Dynamite ever. But yeah, we covered the docu-series tonight, or yesterday into this morning. So, we did 13 hours. We had a huge party. It was fun. We had 7 on Twitch. We had 10 on YouTube. But man, dude, the shit was litty vigitty, man. You know, you guys were all killing it, so I appreciate it. Let's read the quote. Let's go to comments real quick. Billy, what's up, buddy? What's up, Rev? I thought AEW delivered tonight. Some people thought Shane McMahon was gonna come. I still don't think Shane McMahon's gonna show up. Shane McMahon wants power. I just don't see that. I didn't expect the Hurt. Is it the Hurt conglomeration? The Hurt Syndicate. Sorry, the Hurt Syndicate. Let me correct myself. The Hurt Syndicate. Sorry. I really like MVP. You know, they're doing the right things with that. If they do it right, it'll be Swerve Strickland, Private Party, probably Will Hobbs in that. They can add Leo Rush to that as a mouthpiece. I could see this being the Bullet Club. I could see this being AEW's actual Bullet Club. Like, I'm telling you guys this now. Don't fuck this up, Tony Khan. You have an opportunity to make this into your NWO. Do it right. Seriously. You can't go wrong with MVP. MVP's your Hulk Hogan. You can have Bobby Lashley be your Brock Lesnar, or, you know, however you want to slice and dice it. I consider MVP to be the Hulk Hogan, like, you know, the guy that the mouthpiece, the guy that drives everything. Yes, I know Hulk Hogan's a bad example, but you get where I'm coming from. Hulk Hogan would be perfect. MVP's perfect for that. Bobby Lashley coming any week now. Yeah, I could see it. It's already there. I guarantee Tony Khan paid big bucks for that. And good on Tony Khan. Tony Khan's taking the money. If this TV deal is to be true, and $200 million a year, he's using the money for the right reasons. Now you're going to bring in some people that are not injury prone. They need to start cleaning up AEW a little bit with the roster. So you start with bringing them in. Now, the other thing is Rey Fenix. So it's not set in stone in WWE yet with him. So, or Penta now. It's all up in the air. So again, Tony Khan could be playing his bargaining chips with that one. Ricky Starks, you never know. Ricky Starks hasn't shown up in WWE yet. Maybe Tony Khan backstage is doing some magical work. He just got a TV rights deal close enough. I would like to see Hobbs in their Hurt Syndicate. Honestly, Will Hobbs needs to be part of that group. There's just no doubt about it. Will Hobbs, book it now. Will Hobbs for international champion immediately. This guy, the Hurt Syndicate needs to be champions all over the board. Bobby Lashley world heavyweight title, Swerve Strickland Continental. You need to make Will Hobbs international. And then you make the other three guys part of that group, the trios champion. You have them win everything. You make them go through people. You don't bring in MVP not to be a mouthpiece, and you bring Shelton Benjamin in too. Shelton Benjamin, you put trios titles on him, Leo Rush, and I would say you bring in somebody, and Strickland. You make that group into your NWO. You have them every week come out. You make them beat up people. That's what you fucking do. You want Tony Khan, you want to, people have been clamoring for this. You have every week, you start with the Blackpool Combat Club. You have them get into war with Blackpool Combat Club, right? You have them basically beat the shit out of these guys. You leave them in rubble. Then you turn around and you focus on Adam Page. What you do is you put Adam Page to a table, you ruin his life. It's pretty much like gangster shit. You got to go gangster with this. So Adam Page, what they would do, they take him off of the roof. They could book this simply. Take him on the roof of a house and throw him off. End him. They can do so much cinema with that, dude. Like, they could play it off. Adam Page could be wheeled out in a wheelchair. They could do so much fucking damage. It's not even funny. They could book this so magically. Tony Khan, it's in your court now. You've made me interested. Please book right. You have one opportunity, one shot. Don't miss. Yes, with the way I see the Hurt the Hurt Syndicate, the way I see it is their NWO faction right now, immediately. There's no questions asked. Leo Rush, put him in it. Will Hobbs, you put him in it. Swerve, Nana, you put him in it immediately. I don't want to see the Swerve, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I want to see him coming out with new music. I want to see Swerve Strickland looking gangster. I'm sorry, but I want Swerve to have new music. I want Swerve to look more badass. I want him to come out with a sense of purpose. No more of this, when I drive, do the dance shit. I don't want to see that. I want to see Swerve come out like gangster. I want to see him come out, and I want him to have I don't want him to say anything on the mic. I just want him to come out and brawl down, gangster style. Beat shit out of people. I do not want to hear from nobody telling me different, because Swerve Strickland, have him say nothing much. You do MVP, do all the talking. Just like they did the Beatdown Clan in Impact 5-6 years ago. You do the same fucking shit. 2.0. And if you want to, if you really want to go there, you reunite Samoa Joe in that group real quick. The Hurt Syndicate, you add Samoa Joe. There you go. There's your extra member. And you give these guys all the belts. You have them run through AEW. Then you turn around and MVP says, we run this shit. We run this shit. And I'll give you a prime example of this. They can have him come out with Jay-Z's music. They can pay Jay-Z. I know that sounds terrible. And you can have him play 99 Problems, A Bitch Ain't One. You can have him do that. When they're going out and beating people up, they could do that. 99 Problems and A Bitch Ain't One. You can play that real quick because AEW fits the mold. There is so many. I'm excited for it. I love MVP. I felt that Triple H dropped the ball, and you're going to watch the drop the ball. I'm telling you. Now, I will tell you, I will admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong tonight. I was wrong. The reports all went to Darby Allin, and I thought that's what they were going to go. They swerved. They swerved tonight. They proved me wrong. I was wrong. MVP is freaking great. I think Ricky Starks is coming back. I would like to see Ricky Starks back. I would like to see him re-sign with AEW more than WWE. I think AEW owes that to him. I would like to see Tony Khan stick to Miro. I think Miro owes AEW some dates. One thing that AEW did right tonight, and I'm going to tell you the one thing that I was clapping and cheering for, they retired the FTW belt. They retired it officially, finally. I'm happy. No more FTW belt. I'm cool with that. They didn't need it. It was a waste of space and time. I think going back to Chris Jericho, I think, giving it back to his son, giving it to him, I thought that was perfect. Tonight, the women's title stuff, I thought was a little bit hokey pokey. Okay, I'm going to tell you the downside tonight. I thought the women's stuff was dumb. My cells in my head were hurting. Bad. You bring in Mina. You need to sign Mina Shirakawa to a contract. Seriously. Lock her up before she gets to, her contract ends with Stardom. Whatever. Guarantee her some money. Throw her something. She's too good. She's too good. The fans are loving her right now. Maria, you got to give her a title. Give her a title. I'm sorry. Give her the TBS. Give her something. Because she's too good. I honestly think she's better than Mariah May. That's just me saying it as a wrestling person. Mariah May has not gotten over with the audience. Marina Shirakawa has. They're eating her up every time she's on TV. I see you guys on Twitter and in the communities talking about her. She's over. Why do some people not like Bryan versus Nigel? The match was because the way they booked it. That's why you have big names out there, like you have big podcasters that didn't understand that it was rushed booking. Let's put it that way. It was rushed booking by Tony Khan. Last week I said Tony Khan rushed into a lot of things because Tony Khan fucked himself. If you're gonna go there, he fucked himself with All Out. All Out should be 4 weeks after the fact. It shouldn't be 2 weeks after the fact. It should be 4 weeks. I think, Tony Khan's going to have to live by the sword and die by the sword with that. I think All Out should be their payback show. And they should do it 4 weeks after All In. He kind of rushed everything and then he rushed into Grand Slam. The thing is, he made it right. He made it right from All In, right? He just made it up to you, everybody, including myself, that he can book when he needs to book. And he can book good shows. Now, I hope that carries into Collision and Rampage. I'm going to be watching Rampage. I'm going to be watching Collision for sure. I'm not, like I said, I watch everything. We're going to go live after Rampage and SmackDown. We're going to go live. We're going to talk about things. Either I'm going to go live after Rampage, or what I'll do is I'll record Rampage and upload it for you guys. But tomorrow, expect TNA. We're going to be reviewing TNA here on this channel, very channel, tomorrow. You guys have been demanding a lot of things from me. I'm doing something different than any other channel's doing on the fucking IWC, YWC. We are covering TNA every week. We're going to be covering Ring of Honor. We're doing the things. Boys, we are doing the things. Your boy wants to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're doing the things. We're doing a lot more on this channel. We're going to be spending more time in the lab, more than any other channel, and you guys are going to get my opinion on everything. Even though I get worn out, we're still going to be here. Blood, sweat, and tears. Like I said, ride or die. Like I said, raw and uncut and unbiased. I'm going to beat your favorite commentator's commentator, and I'm going to come for it. I'm the underdog from the underground. I told you guys this before. I'm not just stopping with these. I'm not a casual podcaster. I'm not the casual podcaster. I'm not just doing Raws and SmackDowns and fucking Dynamite. We're doing everything. It doesn't stop. I don't just go to sleep. I take naps. I take naps. Collision is looking more promising. SmackDown, in my opinion, I'm excited. I'm kind of excited. Jamie Hayter's match, I'm excited. And by the way, there was a beginning, middle, and end in that booking, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Hayter's not going to be remembered in 6 months. Remember who said that? Jamie Hayter's not going to be remembered. JD from New York said that. Guess what? JD Hayter's being featured on their B show, their SmackDown show, and having a match with Saraya. Oh, wait, Saraya doesn't put on good matches, according to somebody. Just saying. Just saying. What do you think of Bobby Lashley maybe at Wrestle Dream? I would expect to see Bobby Lashley sooner than Wrestle Dream. I think they pull the trigger. They bring him in sooner. I think they bring Swerve back. I know Swerve's on vacation. I know Swerve requested some time off and he got granted by Tony Khan. Why don't we bring Bobby Lashley in early? Give the fans what they want. I think they could. I think with the private party stuff happening, I think with the things they could bring in, sky's the limit. I think they should do it sooner than Wrestle Dream. I think that would be a waste of an opportunity, in my opinion. Bring him in like on the 5th anniversary show. Bring Bobby Lashley in the 5th anniversary show. I think that would be brilliant. How they bring Bobby Lashley in, I got to the perfect one for you. What they would do is, it's hard. I say they do something with Okada, and then what they do is they bring in Bobby Lashley right behind it and have Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of Okada. Have Okada versus Lashley, put the belt on Lashley. Have a match at Wrestle Dream, Lashley versus Okada for the title. I know some people are going to say, well, Rev, you're rushing into everything. Why? Why not? Put Lashley on top. Do what WWE couldn't do. You bring Bobby Lashley in immediately, you book him immediately like $1 million, and you have him win. You have him beat people. No stop, no filter. You have Bobby Lashley hold on to that belt as long as you have him hold on to that belt like a Brock Lesnar. You don't ever let this guy lose. You have him hold it for a year. Literally, I'm serious. Now, you may be asking, well, why would you have Okada lose the title? Because he hasn't done anything. Okada has been a waste of space. Since Okada has signed, he has done nothing except nothing. I'm sorry, but I call it the way I see it. That title is supposed to be your second title to the main title, right? Why do you have Okada holding a belt and not defending it every week? Why do you not have Okada looking prestigious like $1 million? Bobby Lashley could be that guy for you. Bring in Bobby Lashley ASAP. There's no doubt. Yes, you bring in Bobby Lashley at a surprise next week, 5th anniversary. You have him beat the shit out of Okada. You have Okada do a shitty promo. Hey, bitches, bitch. And you have him beat the shit out of him. And you have Bobby Lashley go, this was your AEW, Okada. You're a waste. I'm here to dominate. You have him win. I love every second of it. You bring Bobby Lashley in, you make him into the MMA guy, and you have him just come in and squash people. MVP mouthpiece. You put in Bobby Lashley, Leo Rush, Will Hobbs, Private Party, Samoa Joe as the outsider. Samoa Joe would be my dark horse pick in that. Why? Because they have history. Samoa Joe has history there. You guys don't remember the Beatdown Clan. Remember the Beatdown Clan in Impact Wrestling 10 years ago? And they were beating people up. Who was a part of it? Kenny King, Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, and so forth and so on, right? That's what they should do. That should be your main guys right there. You put Lio Rush, Private Party, you train them. You have Private Party win. You finally build Private Party to be what they should have been all along, a powerhouse tag team. I don't care if they hold the Ring of Honor belts or the AEW belts. You have them beat somebody, and you have them look like $1 million doing it. Like I said, I want this new Hurt conglomerate, the Hurt Syndicate. I keep calling it the conglomeration. The Hurt Syndicate. I want them to be on the top of the mountain. I don't want to hear anybody tell me different. They have to go to the moon and back. They have to be the NWO of AEW. There's no doubt. They don't do that, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna start hating on it real quick because they got to do this. They have to. Tony Khan has no other choice right now. Tony Khan has no other choice on this. And I'm going to tell you why he doesn't. Because you have factions in WWE that are way over right now. And if they're competing, right? Supposed to be their competition. Well, what's the Judgment Day then? What you do is you do it better. You bring in, you prove Triple H wrong. That's what you're going to do. And you put the belts on the right people right off the rip. Don't waste time. Put belt on Lashley. Continental title. Don't waste time. You'd be a fucking moron if you didn't. Okada, you all can agree with me here. Okada hasn't done shit. Has done nothing. You can't tell me different. Okada should lose. I love Okada, New Japan. This AEW run with him has been shit. Absolute garbage. Ricky Starks should resign with AEW in WWE. I don't know how they would book him. Well, here's an idea how they book him. I know it's too many people in the Hurt conglomeration, but you could swap Lio Rush for Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is a great mouthpiece. What you could do is you could put him part of the Hurt Syndicate. And you can have him be featured. You could put belts on him. The problem is with Ricky Starks, the problem was when he was part of, I think he was part of a faction for a minute there with MJF. You have to put Ricky Starks in places where he's going to succeed and win. You put Ricky Starks in bad situations. That's why he's not with the company. Another person you could put in the Hurt Syndicate, if you really want to go there and you want to him re-sign and make him look like $1 million, is Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is a New York guy just as much as these guys are. Most of these guys are all from New York, outside of Bobby Lashley and maybe Shelton Benjamin you're bringing in. So you're doing the thug life. You got to pull the trigger here. Tony Khan has a unique opportunity here to have his own version of the NWO the proper way, if he wants to do it right. He has the money, he has the funds, he has a TV deal. There's no excuses now. He has to pull the trigger. They are viable. They need to do it now. Put the belt on Lashley immediately. It would be a crime not to. You would be dumb. I'm not going to wait until World's End for Bobby Lashley to become what? International champion? They put the international champion. I'm going to puke. No, you put the Continental belt on him. You have Moxley beat Danielson at this point because Danielson needs neck surgery. Reward Moxley for what he's been doing. Moxley's been doing some good shit. Put the belt on him. You know you want to. Put the belt on him. And you have Moxley carry the World Heavyweight title until Christian Cage is ready. Then you have Moxley lose weirdly to Christian Cage, or you fuck over Christian Cage with cashing in. There's many different ways. And then eventually what you would want to do is, if you're doing the Hurt Syndicate thing, you would have Bobby Lashley. You could have Bobby Lashley hold the Continental belt for a minute, then you can have him drop it and then win the heavyweight title. Or what you could do, Swerve Strickland still has that in play, that he never really got his rematch. He can have his rematch and you can give it back to him looking different. There's so many possibilities that you could do as AEW here. There's just no sky's limit. Let's see, resign with AEW. I think Ricky Starks should say, I think Ricky Starks personally, either way, if he goes to WWE, I'm happy for him. If he stays in AEW, what they should do is put him part of this Hurt Syndicate. And what they should do is build him up to be like the Nation of Domination, kind of like Rock character. I don't mind, let me be real with you guys. I don't mind AEW taking from WWE Attitude Era stuff. I don't mind AEW taking. If they do it right and they give it justice, I don't mind. You know, I don't mind them going over the top with things when it's done right. I don't mind it. Tonight, like, for instance, Nigel McGuinness and Danielson. A lot of people didn't understand it. I understood it because they had a storyline prior to this. Nigel's been talking shit on Danielson for months. Calling him a baby, calling him a cheater. So it was bound to happen. And some people thought this was a dream match. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't really consider it to be a dream match. I considered it to be them squaring up and nutting up and having a new rivalry between each other. You know. But that's my personal opinion. You know, I could, you know, like I said, I was wrong about Darby Allin. From reports, they said Tony Khan was high up on Darby Allin. He said in the Busted Open interview, he was all high up on Darby. So I thought, from all the interviews, I went with the interviews and I thought, okay, AEW is going to book it. They didn't. And Moxley's doing the best stuff right now. The Death Rider stuff is great. And I think, you know, they swerved. I don't think they're ready for Darby Allin to be champion. I just don't think they're ready to put the belt on Darby Allin just yet. I think they're going to let Darby Allin grow and see what they can do with him. I think, you know, and I know that sounds shitty of me to say, I think Darby Allin more for a Continental, but then you kind of fuck Darby Allin over out of all of this because you got to put it on Bobby Lashley, because if you bring in Bobby Lashley, there's no way you don't have him have a belt. I know that sounds shitty of me. Oh, well, are you saying, you know, you're just giving WWE homegrown talent, WWE talent belts again. No, what I'm saying is you can't just bring in Bobby Lashley and not give him something. You know what I mean? Tony Khan needs to stop being friendly friend with all of his pure talent, and he needs to have his talent win. Like, you're signing these guys for 7 figures, 6 figures, 4 figures. You know what I mean? You got to put the belt on these guys. You can't. Okada was a mistake. Okada's a waste. They did nothing to get you hyped up for it. He expected the hardcore audience to give a fuck. Guess what? The casual fans are not buying into Okada. All he says is bitch. He needs to go. What they need to do is take a page out of Marina Shirakawa's book. Mina Shirakawa needs to be signed to AEW immediately. She's too good. Tonight you saw the crowd was eating her up. More than Mariah May. She was outshining Mariah May. That's just sad. Their champion's getting outclassed by somebody that's all into it. They should take the belt off from Mariah May and put it on Marina Shirakawa. I think she would be a great leader for that division. I know somebody's going to tell me, oh, you're putting in on Stardom talent. How dare you? Mariah May's been there. You know, she got big paycheck. Yeah, but listen to the crowd. Tony Khan doesn't sit back and listen to the crowd sometimes. I feel that he doesn't listen to the audience. And the audience is telling him that Marina is way over. I made Darby Allin just as champion Calver, but as of now, he needs to overcome adversity first and finally get his big moment next year. Yeah. I just don't think it's now. I think now with the Hurt Syndicate coming in, I think Darby Allin's going to go down that card a little bit, unfortunately. He's going to get fucked over. But here's the but, though. You can fit him in for an All-Atlantic title. He hasn't had an All-Atlantic title yet. You can put him there. You can have him. Who's the All-Atlantic champion right now? Is it Pac? No. It's Will Ospreay. You can have Ospreay lose. Ospreay needs to go up the card now at this point. It's hard because AEW is stacked. That's the problem. The problem right now is, I told you guys, AEW's got this new deal and they're going to be throwing money around and they're going to probably they're going to try to sign Kevin Owens. And AJ Styles today, that was also out there that AJ Styles' contract ends this year at the end of the year. So does AJ Styles jump over? That's going to be the question now. Does he jump over because he's not being treated properly in WWE? They have nothing for him. And I've said this on the record that he should be in TNA right now, lifting up TNA right now under that partnership. What the fuck are we doing? That's a waste. I also said the same thing about Michin. If I'm all these guys, I would leave. I would leave. If I'm AJ Styles and I'm not being booked, I would leave for AEW. Yeah, AJ Styles would be phenomenal in AEW. I think he, you know, if he wanted to end his career and make some big money like Danielson, AJ Styles is not that old either. He's like 40, 39, 40. He can have less dates. He can get treated like a Sting. You can have him do his retirement tour if you wanted to. You can have him be booked. It would be an amazing thing. You could put the title on him too. Now the question is, does AJ Styles want to be in AEW? That's going to be the $1 million question going forward. Does AJ Styles want to be in AEW? Or is he happy being in WWE as a booker and an agent? Who knows? We're going to find out next year, because supposedly his contract ends between now and February, so we're going to find out how AJ Styles feels. And Kevin Owens' contract ends at the end of the year too, so we're going to see where Kevin Owens feels. Is this all a ploy for them to get more money from WWE? That's going to be the $1 million question. I would like to see AJ Styles in AEW. I just don't see that happening. I see him staying in WWE and finishing out his career and going into the Hall of Fame. I just don't see it. Another thing that I just right now, maybe next week we'll see. Motor City Machine Guns, we'll see. I'm not making you any promises. I'm 50-50 still on that. I just don't see it, but then I also see it. So, again, who knows? It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. It's a good time to be alive because everything is just happening. Moving pieces are happening. And who knows? Like I said. Let's get back into the notes here. We had Christian Cage get ran off by Kip Sabian. I thought that was a little stupid. They're building up Kip Sabian finally. They're doing something with Kip. Kip was just sitting there floundering. They had to do something with Kip, man. You don't have Kip on. Kip's good talent. It's just never been utilized properly. That's another guy that's been lost in the shuffle that's been collecting a check. I remember he signed he was the first signings of AEW, and then him and Penelope renewed. Penelope's coming off of injury. That's another person. You know, Penelope Ford, we don't talk about that, but Penelope Ford was up and coming. She was winning a bunch of matches, and I thought for a minute there they were going to put the belt on her for a second there. And then they had her go down in purgatory, but I understand why they did, because she was getting married, and there was a lot of time that she needed off, so I get that. Now, Hook defeating Roderick Strong. This was a throwaway match. I knew what they were going for. I knew they were talking about retiring the title in New York, so the FTW title, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised that they retired the belt the way they did. And it's good. They didn't need the belt on television anymore. They ran its course. People were shitting on it. Kevin Owens, yeah, you can have Kevin Owens come and be part of the Elite. You can have Kevin Owens come in and be his own thing. You can pencil Kevin Owens into many You can fit Kevin into many different things. There's many possibilities. You can bring Kevin Owens and have him versus Will Ospreay right off the rip. You can have him and Ricochet. You can have Kevin Steen and Nigel McGuinness. You can have Kevin Steen and Danielson. You can have Kevin Steen and Bobby Lashley. You can have Kevin Steen and MVP. You can have John Moxley and Kevin Steen. There's so many matches you can have. The same with AJ Styles. You could do the same carousel with AJ Styles. You could do AJ Styles and Nigel. You could do AJ Styles and Will Ospreay. You could do... And you got to remember, Kenny Omega's coming off injury too. Kenny Omega is probably like 6-7 months out. So you got to think when all these contracts expire... Kenny Omega is going to be showing back up in the building eventually from diverticulitis, right? It took Brock Lesnar a year. So, and Kenny just had surgery about 4 months ago. So you got to think about it. He's got to rest for 7 months. So by World's End in the beginning of next year, we're going to see Kenny Omega healthy. Sign me up. Seriously, Kenny Omega being healthy. And if you sign a AJ Styles or a fucking Kevin Steen, what conversations are we having right now? Like that's just giving me goosebumps right now. You can also have what's his friend Kota Ibushi's been hurt. He's been resting. He's been taking time off of wrestling. If you want to, if Kenny Omega did it right and he comes back, you know who he could. If Kota Ibushi's not ready, you know who they could do Golden Lovers with? Kensuke Okashida. I said that. They want to do Lovers 2.0. They could do it with Kadeshita. And Kenny can build him up and make him into $1 million, and then you have Kadeshita win the World Heavyweight title. That would be perfect. I wish I thought they were going to do that with Kenny Omega and him for a while there, and then Kenny got hurt. Another person, I think that there's a bunch of wrestlers. Another one that I would say maybe if you guys want to take a chance on, if AEW wants to take a chance, I'm not going to make... I'm going to say this real quickly. So here's me saying this real quickly. If WWE wanted to take a chance, I know this is going to sound... I know he's going through his issues right now with alcohol and all that. And I know that's a Jeff Hardy situation. I feel bad, and I know probably... I know that TNA is going to have a hard time with him and making a decision. I think he will be released by TNA, and I know he's going to look for a second chance, and I think he should get a second chance because he's mentally scarred. Rich Swann, and I know I sound terrible with that, but I want Rich Swann to have a second chance. I think if he gets clean, I think he stays out of trouble and he doesn't pick up the booze. He's a great talent. That's a guy that I would see in AEW being signed. That's another guy, if he gets released, I'm AEW, I put a clause in like they do Jeff Hardy, where if you touch the bottle, you're immediately fired. And you got to be on good behavior. Rich Swann, when he's on one, when he's really good at what he does, that's another guy you could put in the Hurt Syndicate real quick. And you can make that role too. Rich Swann, I just feel like, I think if he can get his shit together and get his act together. He's married to Su Yung. Su Yung used to stream on Twitch. I don't know if she does anymore. That's another talent that should be signed to AEW, Su Yung. Su Yung is so good. I don't understand why no major promotion. She's basically better than Rosemary. I don't understand why nobody signed Su Yung yet. And Su Yung I'm friends with. Su Yung is one, same with Marty. Marty the Marth Marseille, Celsius? I'm butchering his name. There's another one, Marty the Moth Martinez. That's another one that should have been signed with AEW. He was in Dark, and I don't understand why it didn't work out. That's another guy that's been floundering in the indie scene that needs to be signed. He would make dividends in AEW. That's another one that I've told him this personally in his Twitch streams, and I've played video games with Marty the Moth, and I've told him this personally that he should have been signed with AEW. There was no excuse why. He's a nice big man. He's the nicest guy in the world. He lives his life straight, and I'm surprised WWE or AEW hasn't signed him. I'm so blown away by that. Rich Swann, the reason I say Rich Swann is because Rich Swann is good shit. Celdrick messed up by resigning. Well, he's getting booked properly, and okay, so NXT, he's working with Javon Evans. He wants to work with younger talent. I get his play. He wants to work with younger talent. I could see him and Javon Evans winning tag team gold eventually. I could see that in NXT. Javon Evans is great shit. I really hope Randy Orton puts the kid over, gives him a good showing. I hope in 2 weeks. I do hope, because I like Javon Evans. I think he's funny. I like his young vibe about him. I like that. He reminds me so much of when Kofi Kingston first started out. Kofi Kingston was so... Well, it was under Vince McMahon regime, but again, like I said. Let's see here. The Young Bucks. I thought this match was kind of dumb. It was predictable versus the United Empire. I thought this was kind of stupid. The Republic Empire. I really thought this was... It's going to set up a feud between him and Kyle Fletcher for the title. I think that's where they're going with that. Or it'll be more of them going against the Young Bucks again, and then I see fucking Kyle Fletcher turning on Will Ospreay. I do see Rick, and I'm going to say this too. It's hard because they brought in Ricochet, and a lot of people don't realize, what people don't understand with the Ricochet stuff, and a lot of people are mad because I have this opinion. Put the belt on Ricochet. Why not? You signed him for all this money. Why not? What are people shocked? WWE does it all the time. They sign a big talent and then they have the big talent win title. They did it when Charlotte Flair, Charlotte Flair didn't have any victories on her belt when she came back out of injury. And she came back and just smoked whoever it was real quick and won the belt. So what's the difference? This is the thing I don't understand about fans. Like, you like when Charlotte Flair does it, but if you have Ricochet do it, oh God, it's terrible. It's fucking horrible. It's the worst. Tony Khan's the worst booker of 2024. But yeah, but Will Ospreay was given everything though too. Like, if you gotta go there, Will Ospreay's had multiple matches now and has been featured multiple times. I could see Kyle Fletcher turning on Will Ospreay, costing him the title against Ricochet. Like, nobody's picking on this. Nobody's picking up on this. Kyle Fletcher will be the difference in that match on the 5th anniversary. Watch. We watch him do some to get cheap heat. Watch. Oh, and FYI, before somebody says, well, why are we ever seen on MJF? Like, guys, if you're under a fucking rock, MJF is filming a movie. He's going to be gone for 6 months. Samoa Joe just finished up wrapping up Twisted Metal. They're doing they were renewed for 2 seasons. They recorded 2 seasons. So if you guys are sitting back and wanting to know what happened to these people, they're filming movies. A lot of the people in AEW that are not there right now are filming movies. I believe Monet is doing some stuff with Star Wars right now, currently. That's why you haven't seen her on TV. But she doesn't need to be on TV. I don't think you're going to see anything until the 5th anniversary show, and it's okay. Like, I get why they're not featuring Monet enough, because Monet's been garbage. I love Monet. I love Monet. Don't get me wrong. Monet is great when she wants to be great. But I think after that match and that showing at All In, I think they kind of quieted down because fans were hating it. And Britt Baker, here's another thing with her. Like, Britt Baker's got to start showing up. She's got to start balling out. Like, I can't have her come in and do these fucking promos and then you go and you do a pay-per-view and you're just god-awful. Like, no offense. I compare this to the NFL. You can't keep having these blunders. She reminds me of a kicker that just can't get it right. It's like, Britt Baker, you need to go back and find Britt Baker 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when you were doing the lights out matches with Thunder Rosa. You got to go find yourself. Like, seriously, she needs Rebel. She needs to bring back Jamie Hayter in a group or something. They got to do something with Britt Baker, because Britt Baker's floundering. It's like Britt Baker, all the promise that she had in the first 2 years was great and fantastic. Not so much anymore. It just like, to me, she's like, becoming day by day, night by night. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to say this meanly. She's becoming the new version of Naomi. Real quick. And I love Naomi though. But Naomi's mid-card. She's becoming mid-card. And it's sad to watch. I'm watching it. I'm watching her have promise, and then the next one I'm watching, what are you doing? You don't want to be here. It just looks like deer in the headlights. Naomi's like that. Naomi's 1 minute, I'm here to collect a paycheck. Next minute, Naomi wants to be champion, and she puts on great television, and then the next minute, I sign a bunch of money, and I do whatever WWE tells me to do. And that's what I feel about Britt Baker right now. Britt Baker should be dominating. Britt Baker should be your number 3 in your division right now. Honestly, it should be the way they have it stacked. It should be Monet at the top right now. Then it should be Mariah May, or it should be Mariah May, Monet. Then it should be Britt Baker behind that. Then Jamie Hayter. The reason I put Britt Baker over Hayter, because the way they treat her. I don't believe in all the reports that fucking the women's division is trying to, sabotage each other. I don't see that. I really don't. And if that was the case, then why they're giving Diana Peraza a faction? Why are they making Thunder Rosa a prominent feature? Thunder Rosa's been traveling the MLB circuit and throwing out first pitches. Well, I mean, I don't understand that. So there's that. MVP came out. That was good. Hurt Syndicate. I can't wait. Mariah May defeats Yokozawa to retain the women's title. Yokozawa, great to see her back, but she didn't really do anything to get there. It was just a couple of segments and a couple of things. It wasn't for me. Yokozawa is not Yokozawa should be fighting Monet. Yokozawa is kind of a gimmick character. I'm not into Maki Ito either. Maki Ito's in the same boat. I like Maki Ito when she does the motherfuckers. There was a reason why AEW didn't sign Maki Ito. And a lot of people will tell me, Maki Ito's great shit. Okay. I'm still waiting for that. Everybody tells me Maki Ito is great and she should be signed with AEW. But the matches she puts on are extreme matches. She doesn't she don't have any substance. At Wrestle Dynasty? Wait, what? Last week, so this was published yesterday. So WWE wrestler Kota Ibushi has teased a return along with the Golden Lovers tag team partner Kenny Omega. Earlier today, Ibushi shared a new photo on Instagram showing him back in the ring doing... Ooh. Let's go take a look. Oh, they're training. Okay. I love to see. All right. See, I told you this new Kenny Omega version. Let's see. Kenny Omega. Let's read this. Reunite. Okay. Announced. Okay, so let's copy this. This is some news. Okay. Hold on. Tamahashi. Let's see. Let's go to news. Here, I'm on Google. So Kenny announced to reunite with... Oh, okay. On New Japan's global Twitter account. Okay. Let's go there. I love you guys because you guys always tell me. Oh, here it is. All right. I'm watching. I'm listening to it. I like the fact they're kind of playing on Eye of the Storm that they were playing with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, though. I'm excited for it. I think that would be a great comeback match to start. And I think having the Golden Lovers back, I think with them training and I think them being a tag team would be great. I think that's best for business. Kenny Omega back in AEW anytime soon. Even a sighting of Kenny Omega just makes me feel happy because it's like, I like Kenny Omega. I'm a huge Kenny Omega fan. Like, I wouldn't care if Kenny Omega in my lifetime decided to go over to WWE to give that a run. I wouldn't be mad. I would never be mad over those things either. Because I'm a fan of Kenny Omega. This is where the IWC, YWC have missed out. Like, when Kevin Nash and Hall, like I told you guys yesterday, like I told you earlier today with the Vince McMahon docu-series, right? I said then and there, I didn't care if Kevin Nash showed up on fucking WCW. I was a fan nonetheless. Like, if my favorite wrestler goes over to WWE, I'm not going to cry over it. I want them to be treated right, and I just want them to be paid. That's all I fucking care about. I watch all products. Like, for instance, when Booker T went over to TNA back in the day with the Main Event Mafia, did I get pissed off that Booker T was just using using TNA and whatever? No. I still was a fan. Do I like everything Booker T does? No. I'm a big fan of Booker T. So, you know, I vote like him, Scott Steiner. Like, I would never, like, I'll never be mad. And I'm cool with Kenny Omega being in New Japan. It's a good comeback for him. New Japan, he's been in Japan for a while now, resting and healing. Most of his stuff is been in Japan right now as far as his comeback stuff. He's been training in New... so, to me, I'm not going to be mad. And he's an EVP. He can do whatever the hell he likes. And I think Tony Khan has understood that. I think I get that too. So I'm cool with that. Everybody's happy about this. And if you want Kenny... If Kenny Omega wanted to and he gets healthy enough, what he should do is take those belts off those EVPs. See, he should be the uprising on... he should be what... he should be the uprising. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. All right, let's go to the news so far. We had the conglomeration welcoming in Rocky Romero officially into the group. I mean, who cares? I love Rocky Romero, but he's more of an performance enhancement talent, but he's backstage. We didn't really get much outside of the Young Bucks stuff. Darby Allin getting defeated. I'm not surprised, but I am shocked on the aspect that I was wrong. So here we go for Rampage Grand Slam. We have Willow Nightingale versus Taya Valkyrie. We have, for Collision, we have a stacked card. We have Jamie Hayter versus Saraya in a Saraya's Rule match. We have Chris Jericho, I don't care for this one, versus the Conglomeration. Okada versus Sammy Guevara for the Continental title elimination. We have Adam Page versus Jeff Jarrett in a lumber. Okay, I kind of care about that. Jack Perry defends his TNT, or defends the TNT champion in an open challenge. Beast Mortos versus DeCicco and Hologram. I'm cool with that. Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta will defend their titles against Private Party and Commander. And then in the fifth anniversary, we have Dr. Britt Baker and Serena Deeb. That's going to be a good one. And Will Ospreay, Ricochet for the international title. So I think that'll be good. I think that'll be a good. There'll be more matches announced. I'm not going to tell you there won't be. There'll probably be more matches. Tonight's show. A lot of you are high up on it. So am I. I would say B+ all around. I thought it was an 8.5 out of 10. I think it was a good show. I think it's watchable. I think when Tony Khan books a show, it's great. It's good for business. They're finally getting on the right track. More of this Tony Khan. Tony Khan. Listen to me clearly. Put the belt, that international belt, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley. Don't want to hear any different from anybody. Bobby Lashley. I don't want to hear it. Kenny Omega coming back. That's great. Bobby Lashley. Kenny Omega does not need the Continental belt. He does not need to face Okada. What he needs to do is take those belts off his other EPPs. Him and the Golden Lovers needed time in the sun for a while. Then, here's what I do with that. Then I split off and I start the Golden Jets again with Chris Jericho. Change this, like, or come back and do something with Chris Jericho, because Chris Jericho and that learning tree bullshit is garbage. I want them to come back as the Golden Jets. I'd be cool with that too. Do something with Chris Jericho and involved in that. Or better yet, bring in the Chris Jericho into a trios with them. Call it the Golden Lover Jets. Something fun. Because Kenny Omega just best for business. It fixes a lot of things for me. And maybe he could squash that learning tree garbage too while he's there. Hopefully. Let's go to the news. Let's see, what do we got in the news? Big E's getting an update on next scan. 3 to 6 months, says new projections are coming. Okay. That's cool. Matt Riddle versus Miro Suzuki and MLW. Cool. I'll probably watch that, probably. Roman Reigns. So here's a report for you guys. Roman Reigns is basically protecting Solo Sikoa. So Roman Reigns has got powers. That's why we keep seeing Solo Sikoa. So, yeah. Vince McMahon. So one thing I didn't cover from last night in my earlier today in the review, he had no sympathy for people who retire. I think I said that in my watch along, but I thought that was pretty fucking gnarly. Let's see. We got Io Sky and Naomi, Kairi Sane versus Candice LeRae. I'll be watching the semifinals of Speed. I'll have a quick review for you guys coming soon of that then. I'll be watching that then to see who's in the championship match for next week. Let's see here. And the picture, they have a fucking Roxanne Perez and fucking Julia. That's fucking hot as shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna deny. Tony Storm's hotter than shit too. I'm not gonna deny. Let's see here. Yeah, there's really nothing else in the news. Most of it I covered yesterday here in my review of NXT. Yesterday, nothing has changed. Outside of Kenny Omega showing up, coming back. That's good. I think it's best for business. Again, I'm going to say this. AEW, if they do it right, please do me a favor. Please, for that all is holy. Anybody can agree with me. Please, Kenny Omega, please. Come back, beat the EVPs. Please. And thank you. And second of all, please come back and squash Chris Jericho and win the trios belts with him and Kenny with Kota Ibushi. Please, can we make Chris Jericho great again? Okay? In 2025, can we make Chris Jericho great again? Yes, I'm not calling Chris Jericho a lost cause. I think with Kenny Omega in the fold, they could do the Golden Jet Lovers. They could do something, win trios belts. Please. Make Chris Jericho great again. Kenny Omega, please. Win the tag team belts first, though. Beat your EVPs. Show them what's up. Then do me a favor. Go win the trios belts and revitalize Chris Jericho because he hasn't been the same without you. Hey, Rev, what do you think? Any news about Becky Lynch? Nothing really. Becky Lynch is still on. The only news I have on Becky Lynch would be she's still on break. She's been on break for a while. There's been no news. I mean, outside on September 18th, there was a report. I didn't report it because I didn't think it was anything special, so I'll just read this to you guys. Former Women's World Heavyweight Champion Becky Lynch has not appeared on WWE since Liv Morgan on Raw on May 27th. But WWE Raw, Lynch faced Morgan. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Becky Lynch just basically put out an update to Instagram post, basically stating that she was having fun in the sun with her daughter for a while. A report soon revealed that Lynch's WWE contract is set to expire in June. Well, we're already past June. Becky Lynch's WWE comeback may be on the horizon. She's been posting pictures, basically saying that she's on her way back. What's up, Icon? Only a matter of time. I mean, really, the only thing I've heard outside Alexa Bliss, this is the other thing today, Alexa Bliss is teasing a return to WWE. Hints that she may be signing a multi-year deal contract with WWE. I mean, good on Alexa Bliss, but what are they going to do with Alexa Bliss? Nia Jax basically praised Becky Lynch. This was 6 days ago, saying that she is one of the greatest that will go down in women's history. I mean, that was the other thing. I just don't think WWE needs Becky Lynch. I think they're doing just fine without her. I think Becky Lynch is just enjoying family time. I really don't think WWE needs Becky Lynch. I think fans are craving it, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't be mad if Becky Lynch called it a career. I wouldn't be mad. Seriously, I wouldn't be mad. Seth Rollins just got kicked out of an NFL game. If you guys didn't know that, over the weekend, I don't know if it was kayfabe or not, but Seth Rollins and a legendary wide receiver got in fucking a tussle in the front row, in the back of the front row of on the field, and Seth Rollins was kicked out of a football game. You guys can go look that up. I think it was the Chicago Bears, and I think whoever they were playing this weekend. He had choice words with somebody, and they got in a tussle, and Seth Rollins got thrown over the barricade in the front row. There's another report coming from IMDb saying three reasons why Becky Lynch may go to AEW or other promotions. I mean, I read this article. Basically just hinting she's on hiatus to rest up injuries and stuff like that. Ty Hilton? Yeah, that shit was funny. When I saw the footage of that, I thought that shit was funny. Anyway, outside of Kenny Omega, there's really no other news. I covered Vince McMahon. I did 13-hour live watch along. We had a blast. We had a party all night long last night. If you guys weren't here, we had a party all night long. We went 14 hours. It was so much fun. You guys were chiming all in. We talked about life. We talked about Pit Edie. We talked about Harvey Weinstein. We went on about a little bit of everything. So, the only other news that I see is Big E supposedly update next scans in 3 to 6 months. Say that says new projects are coming. So it looks like Big E's accepting the fact that he's probably not going to be back in wrestling anytime soon. Vince McMahon says retiring for the week, basically. NXT ratings are down for the final USA Network episode. Well, I don't know why everybody's all upset over these ratings, man. Like, I don't understand. Ratings don't matter. Because supposedly AEW is going to be simulcasting. That's what Sean Ross Sapp was reporting. That ratings are not going to matter because they're going to put supposedly going to do trial runs before they put it on Max app with pay-per-views. Is fucking supposedly that's what Sean Ross Sapp said. I'm going by what he said in his podcast last week. He said they're going to probably try to do some trial runs to see how people react over on their and there is no set in stone deal about the Max app either. A lot of people are reporting, oh, they're going to have the Max app and stuff. No, $200 million that did not guarantee pay-per-views. If you do your research and you do the research on the matter, it doesn't mean that they're going to be doing what they're doing. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people are reporting, oh, it's going to be for the Max app too. No, nothing is said on that. That's why you're seeing Fox come in board. I kind of said this, wouldn't it be something that Tony Khan doesn't do Max app. He does Hulu and Disney Plus. Wouldn't it be something? His tape library and everything goes to fucking, he puts it on fucking Disney Plus. Or Tubi. Tubi is a popular app, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If a lot of you are not watching, you're not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And that Shockwave show, from my understanding, it's all rumored and speculated, but according to Sean Ross Sapp, from what I was listening to on his last week's show, I haven't watched this week's show, so there may be an update. Who knows? But that Shockwave is not set in stone. The name is not set in, the trademarks have been filed, but it's not set in stone. And supposedly that the other big thing that's going around with AEW, that they may swallow, Shockwave may become a thing, and then they may take Rampage and put it into Dynamite or Collision as a 3-hour show. My opinion on all this stuff, all these development stuff when it comes to it, that's why I tell you guys, like, these deals are not set in stone. It's not set in stone yet. Nothing is set in stone until I hear Tony Khan making an announcement or Warner Brothers Discovery putting out something in the dirt sheets. I don't believe anything is real. I believe they're still working out the fine details. I think Tony Khan is not done yet with a TV rights deal. I think he's going to go work with Fox. I think that's what he wants to do. He wants the bigger fish. He wants to be on network. He wants to be on local television. Why wouldn't he? It's more money in his pocket, and it's literally a drop in the pan for Disney/Fox. It's a drop in the pan. Disney doesn't have to pay much for AEW. I'm saying that nicely. They don't have to go out, like, if they're doing just a Rampage, and I heard Dark may be coming back. They're saying they're gonna bring Dark back out of all this too. So Shockwave could be Dark. Who knows? That could be their new NXT. Who knows? Like I said, I keep following the reports. I haven't reported anything on this channel because I don't want to give you guys bad news or give you wrong information. So, you know, when I covered the Vince McMahon stuff, that came directly from me and how I felt on the watch along. You guys got 13 hours of watch along. Tony Khan absolutely wants to keep AEW Grand Slam going in New York. Good, he should. Honestly, if he wanted to, he could turn it into a fucking major pay-per-view. He should. He should expand on it. I'm tired of hearing another thing is in the reports here is Mercedes Moné is talking about why she left WWE. I just don't care. Matt Riddle and Minoru Suzuki Friday, October 4th. St. Petersburg, Florida. AEW is no longer offering pay-per-views on Bleacher Report. Good. The Bleacher Report was trash. I'll read this for you. The era of AEW pay-per-views on the Bleacher Report has come to an end. In an interview earlier in the day, Tony Khan had said former BR Live was a sunset, but didn't give specifics on what. Basically, he said Triller TV, YouTube, and pay-per-views.com. He said Triller's basically, that's where his tape library is at the moment. So guys, Triller TV right now is where the tape library is at. So pay-per-views you bought and all throughout the year, you can watch on replay. You can watch prior Dynamite stuff on Triller. So like Triller TV is where AEW's library is at the moment. A lot of people don't realize that. He signed a big fucking deal with Triller. So I'm going to tell you guys these two predictions, and this is it for me. As far as these TV rights deal, because I'm sick and tired of the TV rights deal. I think it's either going to be Disney Plus or Hulu or the Max app. They're all bundling. So if you think about it in this aspect, it's a win-win for Hulu/Disney anyway because they partner with Max anyway. So they can offer a sports package with AEW and part of that, and you can pay $20 a month. Now with the big sporting app supposedly coming, is AEW holding off streaming until that sporting app becomes a thing with Hulu, Disney, Max, and all that together? So to me, I don't know yet. Like that, see, Sean Ross Sapp saying, is AEW holding off for the bigger fish in streaming? I think no matter what, people are sick and tired of the pay-per-view paying $59.99 for pay-per-views. I think people are sick of it. I don't blame people, but at the same time, those stats are out there. It's very lucrative. That's why. Well, let's see here. AEW news-wise, we'll get into, let's see, is there anything else? I mean, 7 hours ago, Tony Khan dressed out once again put out there, he said, he was talking about possibly taking Grand Slam and making it a pay-per-view every year. I mean, I couldn't blame him there. Pretty much tonight was a pay-per-view, technically. He basically talked about Brawl Out again. He said in Brawl In, he said taking place at All Out and All In, the events. involving CM Punk. He didn't say anything more than the CCT footage. He didn't really, there's nothing really much in the news, man, like outside of tonight and MVP debuting. And I mean, there's Ring of Honor tapings that happened. I mean, I'm not going to go into it because I want to watch Ring of Honor and review it for you guys. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. I don't want to, when did MVP debut? He debuted tonight. Tonight on Rampage. He debuted pretty much giving a incentivized offer to Swerve Strickland tonight. So I would not be surprised if MVP or Bobby Lashley comes in next. I don't want him to come in at Wrestle Dream. I want him to come in now. They got to debut him now. No other choice. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get my dinner. I'm kind of behind the 8 ball with a little bit of everything. We will be back to streaming games and stuff tonight. Tomorrow, TNA, Ring of Honor. You guys know the deal. I'm going to go live with one of them. So I'll probably do a live review of one, and then I'll probably do a recorded, uploaded video of another, because they both happen at the same time. On Friday, we're going to do, like I said, I'm going to do SmackDown / Rampage. And then Saturday, you guys know the deal. And I will be watching, I will honestly be watching, Maple Leaf Wrestling when it comes on, and things like that. In October, we're getting close to that. The 2-night special on Triller TV. I'm probably gonna do a watch along of that. I'm pretty excited for that. We got Kenny Omega now versus Tamahashi, or maybe an appearance. So I'm happy to see. All right. Well, I'm out. I'll see you guys. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Make sure to check out all my affiliate links. Make sure to check out everything to do with me. Make sure to be subscribing. Make sure to be watching the stuff. We did 13 hours of Vince McMahon plus an hour-long review of that. I think it was like an hour, like 15 minutes. It wasn't anything special, anything long. It was pretty much, we already knew most of the stuff that's going on with Vince. The Vince McMahon documentary, if you can go find it somewhere or you have Netflix, go watch the last 2 episodes. They are very telling. Outside of that, it's mostly everything we already knew. There was nothing special. So keep that in mind. My name is Rev Sauce. Down below, guys, be subscribing. Be watching the videos. Guys, there's going to be more videos. There's going to be more live streams here on this channel. We will be game streaming tonight. If you want to sit down and talk more wrestling, then we're going to talk more wrestling. We're going to be doing the things. We're going to be playing Fortnite tonight, a little bit of Rifts Apart, Ratchet and Clank. We're going to be playing First Descendants because of the new season, Overwatch. We're going to be here. I'm going to go get my dinner. I'm going to eat. I'm going to chow down, catch up on some TV real fast, see what's going on around my local news and stuff like that, and then I'm going to be back on. So be prepared, 24/7. I went to bed, got some sleep, and still a little tired, but it's part of the process. So anyway, love you guys. You guys know the deal. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Also, guys, you will see Icon coming back to this channel as well as the co-host. You guys will see that. Just because I'm everywhere doesn't mean we won't be doing things. We did some watch-along stuff yesterday. We're going to be doing some stuff. Yeah. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. See you here in a little bit. Peace.